Due to the graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised. Ready for something outrageous? This driver flips over his new stunt. A biker is long on confidence, but short on distance. A base jumper orders his on the rocks. And this guy gives a whole new spin to doing laundry. If it's off the wall and it's on tape, then it's all here. It's totally outrageous behavior.
Hey everybody, I'm Lisa Durgan and welcome to Totally Outrageous Behavior, the only show where absolutely nothing goes right, and we like it that way. So if you want to see some silly screw-ups, messy mishaps, and hilarious hijinks, join me for 30 minutes of mayhem. I promise you that it will all go wrong. Mechanic Kevin Major is dressed for record breaking. The goal? Fly more than 232 feet off the end of this ramp in this little car. Despite a last-minute checkup, Kevin's confidence is a little shaky.
I could lose the steering, it could come off the side, the car could crumble up when I hit the ramp.
But once he gets some weight added to the car to help him along, Kevin's ready to ride. He pushes the car to go for broke, but only manages to get it broken. Amazingly, Kevin is okay. He even reached his goal. His car landed 245 feet from the ramp. Over 1,000 if you count the sliding. Who doesn't love animals? Well, the guy in this next video might be having second thoughts. Robert has always wanted a show dog. There's only one thing in the way of his dream. His dog, Rufus. Rufus would rather be at home, sleeping like a normal mutt. But Robert's willing to do whatever it takes to make his dog a winner, no matter how hard he has to work to bring Rufus along. After some prodding, Rufus decides to give it a try. But his heart just isn't in it. Dog and master finally finish the course a perfect 0 for 6. But Rufus isn't about to stay for the awards. He's going home to take a nap. Robert's decided he's going to look on the bright side. After this performance, Rufus has nowhere to go but up. When you go to a live performance, there are a lot of things you might expect to see. What you're about to watch isn't one of them. This graceful skater is just finishing her routine, effortlessly moving across the frozen ice. So far, everything has been perfect. And it's time to greet the adoring fans. Maybe they can help her up. This lovely ice princess may have been light on her feet, but she felt pretty heavy on her head. The show-off in this next video is like a brightly burning star, plummeting quickly down to earth. Steve Newkirk went to a friend's party looking for some laughs.
A friend of mine had this rope swing on his house. Swing was attached to a tree fairly high, and you had to climb all the way up to the top of his roof to take the swing.
Happy graduation, Dennis.
Yeehaw! Steve's friends make it look easy.
Okay, which Buick is going next?
And they convinced Steve to give it a try.
They told me nobody had ever been hurt doing it, and I figured, what are the odds that I'll be the first?
Apparently, the odds are pretty good. What could have possibly caused Steve's 3-story swing to end so badly?
Because I didn't listen to directions, I wasn't able to ride the swing successfully. They told me over and over and over again, just step off the roof, don't jump. Just step off, don't jump. What I did is I jumped out.
Luckily, things turn out okay, even though Steve turns upside down.
When I got back to the party, everybody treated me like I was a celebrity. It was pretty cool.
At least Steve has learned something from his one day as a swinger.
I've learned to follow directions, that's for sure.
Looks like he learned that lesson the hard way.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more totally outrageous behavior.
Coming up, a little bike tries a big jump. Plus, a soaring skydiver comes down to earth. And later, this balancing act is all wet when totally outrageous behavior continues.
Welcome back to Totally Outrageous Behavior. Are you ready for some more crazy videos? Well, we won't make you wait another second.
In Moab, Utah, there's a cliff they call the Tombstone.
Nice.
And base jumper Mike Muscat is about to find out why.
What was supposed to have happened was I would have gotten open, flew down, landed beside my buddies, gave them high fives, and went and had a cold one.
As it turns out, the cold one Mike needs is an ice pack.
The main thing that went wrong on this jump is when I got open, I was facing toward the rock rather than completely away from it.
And Mike completely misses his landing.
I would not classify this particular jump as successful.
But he's got an interesting theory about why this jump failed.
Nice.
I'm the first to admit, a younger man in much better shape could have pulled this off, but I'm neither.
Still, this seasoned jumper isn't going to stop living life to the fullest, even if there are some bumps along the way.
Sometimes bad things happen to good people, and sometimes funny things happen to them too. Watch this.
Harold here enjoys nothing more than a good soccer game. And in this match, he gets a chance to be part of the action. The score, soccer ball 1, Harold 0. But as much as Harold and the crowd enjoy his play, the next time he attends a match, Harold better keep his head out of the action.
Oh, home video night. Mom makes popcorn, Dad gets out the camera. Now all we need is some outrageous behavior and we're all set.
The Johnson family has been looking forward to this trip for months. They've come to this dog sled park for a scenic alpine sled ride. The cool air, the breathtaking scenery, the face full of snow. Suddenly, the dogs have their own idea about how this trip should end, and it doesn't involve the Johnsons. Everyone knows mush means go. Now, if only the driver they hired could remember the word that means stop. This sloppy sledder tried to show the Johnsons a snowy good time. But this trip ended up going to the dogs.
Oh, there's nothing lovelier than a perfectly planned event, but there's nothing funnier than one that goes horribly wrong. Take a look.
This couple has been saving this $1,000 magnum of champagne for a special occasion. And now all they need to do is get it open. Opening this bottle quickly becomes a battle. And when the corkscrew doesn't work, the obvious answer is a meat cleaver? Surprisingly, it does the trick. Just not the way that they were hoping. Guess when it came to opening this bottle cleanly, this guy just couldn't hack it.
The guy in this next video may look like an amateur, but he messes up just like a pro.
Warren Laney knows how to handle a bike. At least when it's on the ground, he does.
Freestyle, you gotta have some to pull off all the tricks and be insane like that.
But when Warren sees his friend take to the air, he decides to give Freestyle a shot. And at first, he does all right.
I was doing no-footed can-cans where you put both your feet over the one side of the bike and then bring them back over. Then I was trying bar hops where you put your feet over the bars and you land like that.
So Warren thinks he's ready for the Superman.
You put your whole body over the top of the bike, flying like Superman, keeping your hands on the handlebars, and shortly after that, bringing yourself back on the bike to land.
And faster than a speeding bullet, Warren's done with that trick.
I came up short on the ramp and didn't make it. That's why I stick to racing.
So after a promising start, Warren's freestyle career has also come up short.
Hey, I've got an idea. I'll stay here, you stay there. And when you're done watching these commercials, I'll show you some more crazy videos right here on Totally Outrageous Behavior.
Up next, a practical joke comes to a shattering conclusion. Plus, a circus act that's not quite ready for the big top. And later, this guy teaches an old toy some new tricks. When Totally Outrageous Behavior returns.
Welcome back to Totally Outrageous Behavior. Let's see, where were we? Oh, that's right, we were watching the most outrageous videos ever. Okay then, let's let the good times roll.
It's Sergei Sta's debut on Turkish national television, and he's more nervous than he looks. These pretty dancers have him sweating, and he'll do anything to impress them, including his famous 6-glass balancing trick. Sergei's cool moves managed to get him some attention, just in a different way than he had hoped. Sergei tries to blame his assistant, but the truth is pretty clear. Sergei was showing off for the ladies, and he had one drink too many.
One man's trash is another man's treasure. And one guy's big day gone bad is a wealth of laughs for everybody else. Check this out.
The members of this wedding party have rented the finest classic cars for the big occasion. And the best man tells the driver to be extra careful with this one because apparently it's very fragile. The maid of honor knows that this wedding just got a whole lot more expensive. They already had tuxes, gowns, and flowers on the bill. Now they'll have to add a window.
A musician sings, a magician does tricks, and a dancer dances. Now, if they only had a name for what this next guy does.
Boris has a brand new partner for his circus act. His name is Grant, and he still needs a little practice. All they need to work on is their timing and their coordination. With their act set to debut tonight, they might need to think of a plan B. Maybe they should push their opening back a couple of nights. Or in Grant's case, years.
There's nothing more entertaining than somebody who really knows how to be funny. Unless it's somebody who's really trying to be serious.
This Argentinian anchorman took a job in TV because he likes the spotlight. But this just in. The spotlight doesn't like him. This won't stop him from doing his job in the future. Just don't expect him to cover any more breaking news.
This next video was sent in by a totally outrageous viewer just like you. Well, that is, if you do stuff like this.
Listen, when you get to the top, this is what he does when he sees a stranger.
Marcia DeAngelis won't deny she's a bit of a joker.
I jump out of closets. I hide little trick things around the house.
Tonight, she's entertaining friends at her apartment. And she has an old trick in store for Ed, the new guy.
I really didn't know these other people there. My friend Scott had dropped me off, and they were all friends of hers.
Well, I have a mirror in front of my stairs, and it looks like the stairs going up to the bedrooms. So I figured, let's have, this person that we're going to be meeting for the first time run into the mirror.
That's one way to break the ice.
All right, go. Run upstairs. Are you okay?
Or the mirror.
Most people usually see themselves first, and they stop.
It was boom. I didn't see anything. I was totally shocked.
And in the end, the joke's on Marcia.
I pretty much said, you owe me a date after all you put me through.
All right, go. Run upstairs. So I went on a date, and we took it from there, and next thing you know, here we are, married.
Looks like Marcia's practical joke had a practical purpose. She found her man.
All right, go.
And she broke him in.
Are you okay?
Coming up next, a BMX biker gets big air and big ground on totally outrageous behavior.
Welcome back to Totally Outrageous Behavior. We've softened you up with stunts gone wrong, we've peppered you with home videos, and we've sucker punched you with bad bikers. This last video, it's my favorite video of the week, and it's a knockout.
Washingtonian Jerome Cornelson is totally into extreme sports. And some not so extreme sports. Either way, the results are usually the same.
I crash a lot.
And that's an understatement.
Well, there's some days when I go out and I just bust like every trick, but then there's other days.
There seems to be a lot more of those other days.
My ultimate goal when it comes to my riding is pretty much trying not to get hurt.
Clearly, trying and doing are two very different things. And when it gets a little too dicey on his bike, Jerome moves on to less dangerous activities. And manages to make them dangerous too.
Every once in a while, I'll pull out the old pogo stick. Pretty much just trying to have fun, because this town's pretty boring. Nothing else to do.
But that's not his only hobby. After all, this is a guy who's open to new things.
Went out to the pier and then had one of my buddies videotape it. And I just jumped off and seeing if you really could fly with an umbrella.
And Mary Poppins made it look so easy.
It didn't really work out too good.
If he wants to go biking now, he's going to have to dry off.
The idea for the dryer stunt actually came from my cousin. He was watching some of the other videos that I kind of made, and he's all, "It's not funny. Why don't you jump in a dryer or something?"
What an excellent idea. Of course, with a stunt like this, pre-planning is the key.
I did set it on, put the setting to delicate fabrics.
But he forgot the fabric softener. At least now he's ready to give the bike another try. Sure, this is technically a skate park, but hey, wheels are wheels, right? Wrong. Okay, maybe he should just stick to this nice, safe trampoline. At least the landing is softer. he's grinding a rail, popping a car, or doing whatever it is he is doing here. We can all learn a lesson from Jerome's stunts. And that lesson is?
Do not try this at home.
As if he had to tell us that.
Dumb stunts? Check. Bad ideas? Got 'em. Wacky bloopers? Done. Well, it looks like my work here is through. Come back next week and I'll have a whole new batch of outrageous behavior. See you then.